All right, everybody, welcome into the Pillow Talk edition of Pugs and Company, heard every Sunday night through Thursday evening, 9 p.m. to, well, whenever. We do this as, it's the second of two offerings that I like to get into. We do a high noon show that comes on at noon every day. That's Monday through Friday. And then we do the Pillow Talk thing at night here. Now, the reason I'm doing a Pillow Talk show tonight, there goes my camera. Camera's off. You can't see me. This damn camera. This thing doesn't fit right. Unplug it, plug it right back in. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. Nope. Yep. There you go. All right. Haven't done a Pillow Talk in a couple of nights. The last few days, this is a holiday week, so things are sort of out of the schedule. So I do apologize. I've had my kid, and I've been, hanging out with him at this time at night. So I haven't been doing Pillow Talks. And tonight, it's just me. It's just me all by myself. So here I am. Here we are, all of us. Like, I don't know how long we're going to do here. I just wanted to make sure that we got a Pillow Talk show on. But there is something that I've noticed. Nobody is working. Like nobody, you're watching the cable news or whatever, you're flipping around the dials. There's none of the regular people are working. None of them are doing their shows because they all get the night before Thanksgiving off because that's kind of like a thing, I guess. But then they got other people filling in for them. But these other people filling in for them aren't doing. See, typically when people get holidays or special event days like the night before Thanksgiving, when people get those off, they just fill those spots. And I'm talking about all jobs, any job, whether you're working at the 7-Eleven or whatever, they fill that with people who need the work, right? Who need the hours. So I'll pick up hours wherever I can. But that's not the case in TV. Everybody that they would get as a fill-in host to fill in for, I don't know, Don Lemon or Tucker Carlson, whoever, anybody that they would get that would be of a caliber enough to be thought of as someone who could sit in for an hour and do a national show. In any other job, in any other walk of their life, they're the people who don't have to work because they're successful in their own way. But on this night, it's like they're the runts. It's like they're the ones who come in and do the shit work and work the shit hours and all that. And you know what that says? That says that they would rather be on TV than be with their family because they don't need to do this. I'm watching Michael Smirkanish right now. He's filling in for, I guess this would be Don Lemon. This guy is a successful. I bet he didn't do his radio show today. I bet he ain't doing his radio show tomorrow. The thing that actually pays the bills and has afforded him a nice living. And he's a paid newspaper writer. He does all kinds of stuff. Well, but here he is filling in for he needs the hours, like he needs the check. He needs whatever it is. Oh, I guess that's not him filling in. It's that girl, the girl who's like the fancy lawyer. I forgot her name. She's a pretty girl, African-American. Alex Trebek said he wanted her to fill in as a host on Jeopardy. Wanted her to be, I don't know, Laura Coates. Thank you. Thank you, Laura Coates. She doesn't need to be. She's a successful woman. She just saw an opportunity to be on TV, and she wants to be on TV more than she wants to be hanging out with her grandmama right now, helping her prepare the turkey for tomorrow. I thought that was interesting. Not all my thoughts can be golden, folks. I promise you. Sometimes you're going to get duds like that. All right, I see more people showing up. Hey, Bill, Bill Falk, you enjoy your turkey day tomorrow. And that's what a lot of tonight's show is going to be, however long it goes. Having a cocktail, just me and just you. We're just going to talk. We're just going to, I don't know, we're going to fill up a little bit of time. Probably not going to do 2 hours. I may not even get to be an hour. I don't know. We're just see how this goes. I don't have much to talk about. I mean, I got a bunch of things that we can go through. And, me, I can probably talk on those things for, good 20 minutes each. So maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. We got a lot of tips for you. Here's what I did. Here was my show prep for today's show, which up until about 15 minutes ago, I wasn't even sure I was going to do. I was just laying in bed. I was watching something. Oh, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about what I was watching. I was laying in bed. I was watching something and like, man, this is the first night in 5 nights where tomorrow's a holiday. So I don't have to be preparing for a noon show. I don't have my kid. The 1%er compound where we do this show from is absolutely silent. It's like It's like quiet. It's like there's nothing going on in the neighborhood. I'm like, maybe I'll just lay in bed tonight and just watch TV. There's a Bulls game on. I can watch the Bulls game. Maybe I can watch Venom. I was going to watch the new movie Venom, but then I thought, like 15 minutes ago, why not just hang out here for a little bit and see what happens. I'm having a cocktail. I typically don't even have cocktails. I did it for the first couple of days, but then you know what I realized? I was like, my God, drinking cocktails while talking like this makes me really thirsty and cottonmouthy, and then it causes a whole other set of problems. And so here we are. All right. Let's see here. Let me pull up. I got a moment of joy for you. Okay, this is actually a really good moment of joy. We start each and every show with a little something to put us in a better mood, and this one is fantastic. This one is clever. This one is somebody who has a lot of time on his hands, and he decided that he was going to screw with some people who probably deserve to be screwed with. This is a dude in, I don't know, I think this is Nashua. Where is that? Nashua, New Hampshire. Is that it right there? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll pull this one up. All right, so there's a dude. He's calling into like one of those conservative radio shows. Look at these people. You see these people? It's just a bunch of angry people sitting around doing a talk radio show. And I'm sure they don't screen the callers too hard, because I just can't imagine that this radio show right here is getting a whole lot of callers. This radio show right here is probably getting just a few more callers than I would get if I pitched out for calls. But and look at the entry to the radio station. They don't even have the doors to the studio closed. What is going on here? This is the most slipshod presentation of a radio station I've ever seen. So this dude calls into this like right-wing kind of, old people, old, scared, angry white people, old, scared, angry white people talk radio show. And he decides to like just kind of go with it, right? Like, so he's gonna rant and rave about the libs or whatever. But here's what he tried to do. Are you ready? He tried to name as many punk bands as he could during his phone call and just ease the punk bands in. Like during his rants, he tried to ease the names of as many punk bands as possible. And I would think that someone in the room would catch on, but look at these people. These people ain't catching on. This guy has never heard of Minor Threat. He just hasn't. So here we go. Let's listen to this. Let me get you some sound on it. I don't think the sound is working as good as it could be. All right, here we are. This is a guy calling into a conservative radio show, trying to troll them by naming as many punk bands as possible.
Okay, we have got Bill on the line. He's calling from here in Nashua. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. I think one of my main problems is I'm a Republican in a fairly liberal area, and times I feel like everyone is just like against me. So I feel like what we need to do is listen to what our descendants told us.
There's two.
In the past, we refused to live like a life of agony. I'm just
three.
I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of people thinking we're just a minor threat.
Four.
Enough of that Fugazi.
5.
I mean, a lot of these people, they just got bad brains. And
6.
They're misfits.
7.
Who wave, a black flag.
8.
They're practically anti-flag. I think we need to converge and help the youth of today. Because every time you blink, 182 kids, they go missing.
Okay. Wait a second. That one is the gold standard, man. That one, every time you blink, 182 kids go missing. Every time you blink, 182 kids go. That one was good. You got to give credit to that one. Sorry, because I got to crank up the volume.
I don't think we should be exploited anymore.
No.
We need to rise against, or they're going to have to deal with the fallout, boy.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, and more folks are, and this is good, right, guys?
Well, yeah. It always happens. We have the left takes power. They overreach. A new group of people rises up, like now it's parents mostly. And
we've been trying to, quote unquote, weaponize Granite Rock to say, look, get involved. Here's a group here, a group here, a group here, because people realize, yes, I want that. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore moment. Everybody needs that. We try to help in our very self-effacing way.
Self-effacing way.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go.
Aw.
I'm going to head out. I'm going to go catch some real big fish. I hope you guys.
Are you gonna eat that really big fish for your Thanksgiving meal?
Well, not if it tastes rancid.
Okay. All right, Bill. Hey, thank you for calling in, and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day.
All right. Right? That's pretty good. That was pretty good. That guy was good. I don't know. I counted, I think, 11, and then I quit. But that's something fun. That was fun, right? That's your moment of joy. There you go. He just ran. And I like that. The question on the thread was, did anybody pick up on that? Did anybody get that? I don't think anybody got it. They had no clue. And they just took it and they ran with it. Like they give it. Obviously, the guy's an idiot caller, but you treat him with respect. Most of your base is going to be idiot callers. Hey, those kinds of comments that I just made, you're not going to want to do those tomorrow at Thanksgiving dinner. Boy, oh boy. You looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, folks? Are you looking forward to getting together with people that you wouldn't choose to get together with on your worst day, let alone one of the best days of the year? Big problems. I got a whole bunch of articles here that we could go through, a bunch of tips on how to get by. Let me see. I got here's what I got. I got how to avoid politics. Yeah, we can go through that. I got things not to discuss at Thanksgiving. You can go through that. Things to talk about instead of shit that's going to start a fight. Talk about that too. So there's a whole bunch of. That's pretty much all I got. Oh, other than I wanted to mention this before we get into some of the Thanksgiving stuff. See, this is what happens when I drink alcohol during the show. So I was saying, I was watching TV, right? I was laying in bed and I was watching something, and I almost didn't do the show because it was so good. Okay, so there is this new documentary. If you guys are looking for anything cool to see, yeah, Leslie, go ahead, take your flask out of your purse. Oh, Stacy, you're getting on a plane. You got to fly somewhere to be with awful people. Oh my God, I'm lucky. I'm a stray. I just go over to some other people's house that, and they're not my family. They're nice people. They're going to feed me, and it's going to be very low impact. But boy, some of you, you got to go deal with, you got to go deal with some trouble. Not me. Gonna watch football. Gonna go be a stray. Gonna come home. Gonna watch more football. And then who knows? Oh, we will do a high noon show on Friday. I promise you that. I want to do that. That'll be a fun show. That's a big show. A lot of people are off work. So, by the way, tell people about the high noon show at Thanksgiving. There you go. You need a topic starter at Thanksgiving that's going to be non-political. Tell people to come in and listen to this show every day at noon, and they'll get a full rundown on all the things that are trending. Try to be as non-divisive as possible. Remember the 10 crazy on the right, 10 crazy on the left. The rest of us, the 80% in the middle. That's who we are. We are the 80% trying to be normal, dealing with 20% crazy people. Is this even on? Hold on. Sorry. This is a very relaxed version. If you listen to the show all the time, you know that this is a very, very relaxed version of what we do. So what I was watching was there's this new documentary, man. And I've seen people for a few, I guess going on a couple weeks now, just every so often, someone will talk about it on the Twitter or on the Facebook. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I got to see that. And then finally I got to see it. It's called The King of Cool, the Dean Martin documentary. Now, I've seen all kinds of documentaries on the Rat Pack, and I've seen, the Frank Sinatra one that HBO did that was like 5 hours, and that was really good. But Dean Martin is a guy that, you don't really know much about him. That dude was kind of like a mystery. He had this image that he presented as a part of the Rat Pack. He had an image that he presented as a part of Martin and Lewis. And then there was sort of, the suave tuxedo-clad guy with the cigarette in one hand and a drink in the other, Dean Martin, that you saw on all the TV specials and all that stuff. But aside from that, that dude was an enigma. That guy was like, woo, he would go home and he would just have his family life. And it's really good. I got through it. I finished it. And I finished it at about, 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess I could go do a show. At the very least, I can talk about Dean Martin for 2 hours. I won't do that, I promise. But it's a really interesting documentary about a guy who was one of the biggest stars in the world who... Everybody's got demons. Everybody's got, things that make you a little bit sketchy. He's no different. He had some of that himself, but it's really good. It's called Dean Martin, the King of Cool. But one of the things that struck me is he was a real serious, family guy. in the 50s and 60s. He had all these kids, and he comes from an Italian family, and he really held the whole let's be a family man first kind of a thing near and dear to himself. And he lived at this house. They talked about the Dean Martin house, which is in Beverly Hills. It's at 601 Mountain Drive in Beverly Hills. And here I wanted to show you guys this. And this was the home of one of the biggest stars in the world back when he was at the apex of his stardom. He was living in Beverly Hills, and this was his family house. Here, I'll pull this up for you. Sorry, this is going to be a little... There you go. Okay. So let's see if we can show you this. And he spent anytime he wasn't like out on the road or performing or doing a movie, and even when he was doing something in Hollywood, he would be at this house. Okay, so here's the house. There it is. Okay, you see it? Look at that. Look at that house. Well, how come it's not sharing in the big version? Oh, because now I guess I got to do this. Hold on. We'll show it to you. There you go. Okay, so there you go. So that's the Dean Martin house. It's 601 Mountain Drive in Beverly Hills, California, where Dean Martin, one of the biggest stars in the world, lived with his family. It's a nice house. It's a beautiful house. It's probably a really nice house for 1960 or whatever. And this is where he would throw parties. He wasn't really a big party going guy, but that was kind of his brand. So he sort of, just let everybody believe that he was. But his wife, Jeannie, would throw parties every Saturday night, and everybody would show up. I mean, you name it, they were there. I mean, Sinatra would come by, and, all the movie stars of the era would come by. You'd have Jimmy Stewart over there sitting holding court. You'd have John Wayne walking around. I mean, we're talking about the biggest stars in the world just walking around this house. And you can see this house right here, right? This was good enough for Dean Martin at 601 Mountain Drive, right? In Beverly Hills. One of the biggest stars in the world. This was his house in 1965. This is the kind of house that one of the biggest stars in the world lived in. So when he died and the family sold the property, a new dude moved in. You want to see the house that's there now? I mean, look at that house was good enough for Dean Martin. That house was good. Don't tell me that we haven't changed, because we have changed, people. We as a society have changed. Our expectations of what is and what isn't expected of a rich person has completely changed. And it's why we're all living in debt. And it's why... Is this it? Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so we saw the old Dean Martin house that was on the property at 601. Boom! Look at that. That's the one that's there now. Do you see that? A $59 million house. You could fit 20 of Dean Martin's houses inside the house that is now on the property there at 601 Mountain Drive. Let's look at some of these pictures, shall we? Is it still sharing? It is. Okay, very good. So here, we'll get rid of that one. All right, now look at this. Look at this thing. $59 million house. Look at it. That's the backyard. That's what it looks like from the back. Look at it. Look at that thing. That is ridiculous. That is the standard of wealth now, as opposed to what the standard of wealth was in 1965. We are broken. We are a broken people. This house is how many thousand square feet? Hold on, let's go back. Let's see. How many thousand square feet is this new Dean Martin house? Ooh, look at it. It looks like a spaceship. Could you be warm and comfortable in a house like this? Could you? I mean, could you be alone in a house like this? All right, everybody's gone for the weekend. Looks like I'm just going to stay at the house by myself. Oh my God. It'd be like living in a castle. And that's the other thing. Have you ever seen actual castles? They weren't like palaces, like what we imagine them to be. This thing is a palace. Look at that, just sitting there eating breakfast by yourself. Right there, because you're rich and you're a miser. And a couple of blocks away on Doheny in Los Angeles, there's people panhandling for pay. Look at the size of that thing. Once again, let's go back. Just so we know, that's what it is now. And this is what it used to be. This house right here. Moved away from it. That's it right there. Look at that. That's what it used to be. And then we saw what it is. We've changed. That's what people say when they get all upset about the what do they call it? The wealth gap between we for some reason we just all started. I mean, I live in this crazy 1%er neighborhood, so I see these stupid houses all the time like that. But man, that's a beautiful home, the Dean Martin house, the one we're looking at right there on the screen. It's a fine home. And then, you have to, I guess it's got to be 30,000 square feet or bust. $59 million or bust. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? 921. I'm not doing so great. I'm glad that the few of you that are here with us. So thank you. So it's called The King of Cool. It's a new documentary. You can find it somewhere out there. Let's see. I was gonna do a Thanksgiving food draft tonight. I was gonna tell you what I would draft, and if I was treating a Thanksgiving dinner the way we would the NFL draft. So I can give you that. All right, you ready? Ready for my picks? Here you go. We'll go run through them really quick. A 5-round Thanksgiving food draft with just me because nobody else is in there. You people could play along too in the chat room if you'd like. In the first round, here's what I'm taking. My first pick in the first round of the Thanksgiving food draft, I'm going with stuffing. Why? Because the only time of year you're allowed to eat stuffing is pretty much Thanksgiving. I know that there's stovetop stuffing, but that stuff is garbage. Nobody likes that. In round 2, what am I taking? I'm taking a can of that cranberry juice, cranberry sauce, cranberry gelatin, whatever it is. The can, it's got to be the can. Saw some guy on TV today lecturing people about just take the time to make real cranberry sauce. And he's like, oh, you need some sugar, some cranberry. Shut up, man. That stuff is just going to taste weird. You know what doesn't taste weird? You know it's guaranteed to taste the same way it's tasted since you were 5 years old? That garbage in the can. That garbage in the can is delicious. I believe it's Ocean Spray. I don't have any either. I need to get some. I should. You know what? They sell that year round, right? It's not like eggnog or something like that. Like you can get that year round. I would eat that year round. That stuff is so good on a second day turkey sandwich. Oh, please. All right. First round stuffing. Second round pick is the Ocean Spray jelly cranberries. Third round pick. Now this is a wild card. Third round pick is whatever that green bean shit is. It's different every year. Somebody brings something different every year. It's green beans. There's usually Funyuns on top, and there's sometimes you can taste like mushrooms in there and stuff. I don't know what it is. I guess it's called a green bean casserole. I just call it green bean shit, and it's different every year. And every year it's very good. So I would take that too, because you don't really get that all the time either. Round 4 in my 5-round Thanksgiving food draft. I'm going with my grandma's coleslaw. She's dead now. My mom tries to make it. I say tries to make it. She makes it. My mom makes it pretty good. But there's something about a 1978 bowl of chilled grandma's coleslaw that I would take. And then I guess in the 5th round, you got to take the turkey, right? But I eat turkey all year long. I got turkey. I got deli turkey in the refrigerator. We need to go crazy for turkey. So dark turkey. I'm going to draft in the 5th round of my Thanksgiving food draft some dark turkey. There you have it. Just in case you were wondering. First round, stuffing. Second round, cranberry jelly. The cranberry, the canned cranberry. Third round, whatever that green bean shit is. Fourth round, grandma's coleslaw from right straight from 1978. 5th round, dark meat turkey. Because that's what you don't get the dark meat turkey. When you get the deli turkey, it's always turkey breast, and you make a sandwich. It's a turkey breast sandwich. I like the greasy, dark leg. That's what I like. Hi, Leslie. All right. Should we get into a couple of the tips for tomorrow? Or do we want to, on the High Noon Show a couple of days ago, I gave out my flow chart. I was discussing the flow chart of crazy conspiracy theories and where they fall into the whole, this is a conspiracy theory, but it's not totally nuts. You can believe that and still be a normal person, all the way up to the top of the pyramid, which is you are fucking nuts. Get out of my house. You are no longer a part of my family. Should we do that? Maybe I can do a couple of those. We'll round out. We'll end the show with that. But if you already heard it, I'm sorry. But I know that we got some different people listening here during Pillow Talk that listen during the High Noon Show. But that was good. I put a lot of thinking into that. So why not give that another spin? All right, let's get into this one. Here's this. How to avoid politics. This comes to us from USA Today. This was out today. How to avoid, the political discussion that inevitably somebody's going to bring up. People are going to be drinking. People are going to get loose lipped. And then I also got some tips on some alternative conversation starters that you can do. The first thing that they say, if you are the host, this is for you. You set the rules ahead of time, so be the bitch. If you are the host of the dinner, you can tell everybody to shut their mouths about anything because you're the lady of the house, I'm guessing, because I'm imagining the matriarch in this situation, unless, God forbid, the matriarch is the problem. That's one that we shouldn't rule out, because a lot of times it's mom that's nuts. It's mom that has the crazy ideas that, sometimes your crazy aunt isn't your crazy aunt. She's your mom. She's your cousin's aunt. Sometimes the crazy one in the family is your mom. So in that case, you're going to have to wrestle control over the dinner conversation away from her. But remember, hosts, you set the rules. It's your gathering. You get to tell people what time to get there. You get to tell people what time to leave, and you get to decide what time you're going to eat, right? That's you, all of those things. Here's something else you get to do. You get to make the rules of what's going to be discussed around the table. So if you want to say, okay, no talking about cousin Bobby's dependency issues, you can do that. If you want to say no politics, please, and I hope that's one right at the top of your list. You want to say no religious talk, you can do that as well. Remember, wield your power. If you are the host of the event, if you are the host of the dinner, if it's your house, your food, your kitchen, if all of that shit is on your shoulders, then you get to decide what the hell people can and cannot talk to. I know it sounds like a dictatorship, and maybe it doesn't make for the most pleasant of Thanksgiving holiday get-togethers, but these are tragic times we're in, people. Tragic times. Got into a fight with Deborah Messing. You see Deborah Messing? She was trending today. And when I say a fight, it was a one-sided fight. I was just me. She didn't respond to me because, she's friggin' Grace from Will and Grace. But she was, here's what I don't get about Deborah Messing. She's demanding that we all refer to the Waukesha driver as a domestic terrorist. And he's not a domestic terrorist. Terrorism is violence for a political end. It's you're enacting violence because you want to create some form of political change that fits your ideologies. That's a very strict definition of what terrorism is. What happened in Waukesha was a dirtbag lifelong criminal did some dirtbag lifelong criminal shit and then made a wrong turn onto a parade route, and it was the worst frickin' day of his life, and he killed a bunch of people intentionally. He did it intentionally. I saw the video. He went around a whole bunch of people. But then when he got to a point where he couldn't go around people anymore, he just went through people. And he, at this point, has killed 5 older people and 1 kid. Fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve to be called a terrorist. There was nothing deeply seated in him that made him do that. He wasn't thinking. He's just a moron. He's just a career criminal. He's just a dirtbag. These people exist every day. And there are sometimes, like we had here, tragic consequences to someone's dirtbag idiot behavior. He's a criminal. Throw him in jail, lock him away. But a terrorist? When you call him a terrorist, it's almost like you're giving him some sort of intellectual platform for what it is that he did. There was no thought. He's just a moron. The only thing that he thought about was when he realized that he couldn't go around people anymore, and he went, fuck people because I'm a piece of shit, and he drove right through them. That's it. That was all the ideology that he was subscribing to in that moment. He's a fool. Stop giving him more credit than he deserves. And not that we give terrorists credit, but I am Irish, so, our people have a history of, what around my family's Thanksgiving dinner table may at one time have been considered justifiable terrorism. But we won't go into that. This guy was not that. This guy was not fighting for any sort of change. This guy was not trying to create violence and mayhem at the behest of some larger ideology that he subscribes to. He had no ideology. He was a fucking loser. He never even voted. He hated Obama. He hated Trump. He hated life because he was a dirtbag piece of shit. That's all it was. So Deborah Messing seems to think that he needs to be labeled a terrorist. But she's she's also one of these weird far left people. I don't know. I just called her stupid and moved on. You don't want to talk about that at dinner tomorrow. You don't. This is not a topic for dinner tomorrow. All right. So 1, if you're the host, you get to make the rules. 2, don't make politics personal if you have to have a political discussion at all. Now, I say just veer away from the political thing altogether. But you know what she means, or they mean when they say don't make it personal? It's like, yeah, well, you just think that because you're a fucking idiot, Uncle Sam, or, whoever, well, yeah, you would say that, but you're the guy with 5 DUIs, Cousin Bobby. You know what I mean? That's when now you're spinning out of control. Now it's getting crazy. You don't need that. That's what they mean when they say don't make politics personal. Well, actually, maybe let me see what they're talking about. If you're going to talk about issues, talk about them, but don't attack the character of those you disagree with. Okay, that's basically what I said. That's what I thought that was. Oh, now they're getting cutesy. Hide the knives. Oh, shut up. Thought you were going to give us some constructive things here so that we could get through this awful dinner tomorrow. Listen up. We know the drill. If you don't agree with someone on social media, their perspective, then flame them, unfriend them. Problem solved, right? Not so fast. Thanks in large part to our online echo chamber, we've forgotten how to listen. Even if our politicians can't figure out how to listen respectfully, we can. We must let those you disagree with speak. Listen to what they say. Be prepared to have your own beliefs challenged as you challenge. Fuck that. No, that's terrible advice. Just no politics at all. Unless you're talking about Squid Game. Like if Squid Game comes up and somebody's like, I don't get why everybody thought Squid Game was so great. Here's what I think. I think it sucks, and here's why. All right, in that case, you can listen. That's fine. You can probably have a normal conversation with that. But, the other stuff. Oh. Here's the one that I like. No baseball caps at the table. None. Just none. No baseball caps at the table. Okay? Okay, Cousin Fred? You take the red MAGA hat off at the table. No, there are going to be no table hats, okay? And you too, with the My Body, My Choice, Aunt Sally, you take that hat off too. No hats at the there you go. There you go. No hats at the table. That's a good one. That's actually a pretty constructive one. Then it says, as the host, if it is necessary, you have the right to call a timeout. What family are they a part of? There are no timeouts in family arguments. All right, everybody. Isn't that the job of the second wife? Like the second wife shows up to this family that's been having these arguments at dinner for 40 years. And the second wife has no idea of the lay of the land. And she's like, all right, everybody, time out. Let's all just take a breather. Fuck you, whore. It's like that does not happen. There are no timeouts in family fights. There's doors being slammed. The only way a family fight like that stops is someone leaves. That's got to be it. Somebody, I'm getting out of here. Roxanne, get your coat. Get your coat, Roxanne. We're leaving. The kids are still eating downstairs. I don't give a shit. That's the only timeout that you get at these family fights. Don't invite trouble into your home. That's another good one. Some families know they can all sit down together now because, as a neighbor of mine reminded me, talking politics or impeachments or whatever at the holiday table can only lead to one thing: indigestion. On a similar note, a colleague explained that 3 years ago, his grandmother disinvited everyone who had different politics than hers. You go, Grandma. I don't even know what your politics are, Grandma, but you know what? Old ladies have the right to do that. If an old lady wants to upend the holidays because people are thinking stupid shit, according to her, that's fine. She disinvited everyone who had political differences than hers. Since then, the remaining guests have been playing Scrabble, drinking cocktails, and watching movies all weekend. That's. Have we gotten more selective? I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I have not participated in a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. 8 years. Probably 8 years. Yeah. I've spent the last 7 ones. Well, that's not true. That's not traditional. Me and my mom, we have a very small family. Me and my mom and maybe a couple of friends. So we've done that. So I would say maybe 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. I have spent every Thanksgiving for the past 4 or 5 years by myself watching football. My mom makes me something, and then it would, she'd have it for me. She'd be like, "Here, I made you whatever." And then she would go, she's like, "Well, I'm going to her fiance. I want to get it right. So I'm going to my fiance's family again this year. Once again, you're invited." And I'm like, "Nope, nope." Lovely people, I'm sure. But honestly, if I have the opportunity to just have an entire day where I can walk around in my underwear, I can eat a frozen pizza for lunch if I want. That's what I'm going to do. And there's football on all day. Are you kidding me? That is way better. And like I said, lovely people. And I get along with people. I do. I am a charming son of a bitch. You just watch me go. But it's work. It's work. It's like, yes, I'll sit and play Monopoly with you for 3 hours. I will. And I'll be good and I'll be fun and we'll all laugh and we'll all enjoy it. And the whole time I'll be wishing I was back in my bed. That's just who I am. That's just how I'm made. So this is actually the first Thanksgiving that I'm actually going to be around people. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But this one's good. Don't invite trouble. Feel free to not, although it's too late now, the night before Thanksgiving. It's too late now to just like disinvite people, but should have thought of that before. Let's see here. Be grateful. Some of the most meaningful holiday dinners have started with a ritual I love. Everyone at the table declares what they have to be grateful for this year. Perhaps it's your spouse, your kids, your job, good health, a place to call home, or the friends and family you're breaking bread with. Focus on the ties that bind and not the ones that divide us. Okay. I think that at Thanksgiving, that is a wonderful ritual. What a tradition that is. However, it's a minefield. It's a total, because somebody is just, it's an open invitation for someone to be an asshole. It really is. It is. Well, I'm thankful that Joe Biden won the presidency. Who's with me? You see, you get that guy. Well, I'm thankful that Kyle Rittenhouse got off. Who's with me? Yeah, it's a minefield. You're inviting trouble. Decent people will just make shit up and say what sounds good. I just want to say that I'm thankful for another year of good health and that we could all be together in this wonderful home that we all once called home. And in this fabulous meal that Mom made. Mom, here's to you. And I'm just thankful for all the opportunities that we have together moving forward as a family into what I'm sure is going to be the best year yet. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. That's wonderful. That's what, can we just get like 10 of those? 10 of those would be nice. And yes, they mean nothing. They're totally just hollow expressions of bullshit. But whatever. Isn't that better than, I'll tell you something. I am just thankful that jury realized that Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero and that he's... That's going to happen somewhere. You just know it. And finally here in this list of ways to navigate the minefield that is Thanksgiving dinner, family first. Family first. Family lasts forever, whether it's your biological or chosen family. And that's what the holidays are ultimately about. Let's try not to forget that this holiday season. Well, this dude only had 8 tips. And then the 9th one, that's just some bullshit layup action. That is not even, that's, please. 9, you couldn't come up with one more and then make that the 10th one? This guy. All right, well, I hope that's helped you. I hope that you're going to be able to, have a good Thanksgiving now after that. Let's see. What else can we do here today? There's football tomorrow. Here, I can show you this. I'll show you this. There's a lot of football tomorrow. This is funny. I saw this video today. You might enjoy it, and you might not. It doesn't really matter to me either way. Because like I said, we're probably only doing an hour here today. Here you go. This is called What the F Football. Oh, no. What? It's gone? Oh, man, it's gone. Sorry, I just went to pull it up, and now it's gone. It's been deleted. Whoever posted it is very funny. It was crazy. My dad is making me watch, but you're pretty fun. Oh, well, thank you, Jackson Glenn. I know who you must be. You must be Jeff Glenn. Jackson, you picked a bad day, dude. You picked a bad day. This is me. I'm just free balling it here, my guy. This is really, there's nothing prepared. We're just kind of killing time. Now I got the pressure of Jeff Glenn's progeny watching me on this damn stream. Now I feel like I got to do something good. Well, I'm sorry, Jackson. You're going to have to learn this about life. Life isn't always good. Sometimes life is the show you do for 45 minutes to an hour before Thanksgiving, and nobody's there to help you with it because everybody else has family, and you're just out here freeballing all by yourself, drinking whiskey in the dark. Well, I'm not in the dark. I actually have a light for the thing, but if the light was off, the stage light, we'd be in the dark. Seriously, guys, I'm running out of juice. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to go and do this today. But remember, Friday's going to be a good show. Got a lot of good things planned for Friday's high noon show. That show comes on at noon every day. That's a current event show. We talk about all the things that are going on in the world. So there you go. What else do we have? This is good. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll do this one. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay, so these are some alternative topics that you can get into. Yeah? Things that when you sense that the conversation is getting a little bit sketchy and you feel like it's going somewhere, 5 Thanksgiving dinner table topics that don't involve politics or religion. Okay, so let's look at some of these. Now, one of these is just so easy. And here's the tip that I would have for you. Before you go into dinner, right? Before you go into the house, before you enter the house, be thinking about this in the car. Be like, what are your emergency topics? Have something. Have something that is non-divisive, something that's fun, something that people will be okay talking about, that isn't going to start a war, and that you can just plop out there when, your cousin says something like, I'm thankful that, some bullshit that we got a man like Ted Cruz as a senator in the great state of Texas. Somebody says shit like that. You got to have something so you can go, that's great, cousin Timmy. Hey, did anybody see? And then you can talk like entertainment always works. That's always a good one for me. Like, you got to have like the Dean Martin thing. I'll throw out the Dean Martin thing because old people would love that shit. And I believe that old people are going to be the problem for the most part. I think younger idiots are a problem though. So here's the thing. The people who are going to be causing the fights are going to be over 50 and under 30. I think it's the people in their 30s and their 40s. They're the ones that are going to like totally try and not ruin Thanksgiving by talking about shit that nobody wants to talk about. But people over 55, or over 50, probably at 50, but at 50, let's say 30 to 50 is normal. People under 30, they've only been at the grown-up table for a few years now. They probably spent the first 10 gatherings or the last, 18 gatherings sitting at the kids' table. So now they're trying to be older and grown up. So they're going to talk some bullshit. They're going to talk some shit that's going to start fights because, when you're under 30, you're not fully formed. You don't really get how the whole familial dynamic works around a dinner table when alcohol is involved. And then the people over 50, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck anymore. They've seen enough and this is their world. And they don't like that K-pop is big and that kind of thing. So those are the age groups you got to worry about. Plus 50 and negative 30. 18 to 30. Oh, man, but what about the 16-year-old girl who's feeling herself? You know what I mean? The 16-year-old girl, my body, my right, that girl, she could be a problem too. Her problem is that she's going to set grandpa off. Yeah. Oh, boy, I got to rethink this now. Dad, 40-year-old dad, you got a lot of heavy lifting. Dad, 40-year-old dad, 38-year-old mom, you guys better have topics. So this conversation is going to be for you. You better have things that you can flop out there when your daughter and your father get into a fight over Greg Abbott or whatever. Whatever state you're in, wherever you're living, whatever the issue there is, you got to have something. So that's what this little article here is. To keep family quarrels and debates to a minimum, here are the topics you should avoid at all costs. Politics, we've covered that. Religion's a good one too, especially if not everybody's on the same page. Oh, and by the way, here's the thing, folks. Here's a tip. If you are not a person of faith, if you do not believe, okay, and you're sitting around the table and everybody at the table wants to say grace. Say grace. Say grace. Just do it. You don't believe it, so what's the big deal? This is not like if you don't just go with the flow in that moment, you're the problem. Well, I'm not going to hold hands on this. I fully respect your right to do it, but I'm just going to sit here and be a stick in the mud. Don't be that person. That person is an asshole. You're being an asshole. Listen to me. Don't be that asshole. If you don't believe, if you are not a person of faith, do not go out of your way to poke the bear, because that's all you're doing. You don't believe it. It would be the same thing for you. It would be the same thing if they said, well, let's all hold hands and let's pledge our allegiance to the Jedi. It's the same thing. You don't believe it, so what does it matter? It's just silly. Just go with it. Any action to the contrary of just going with it is going to be considered adversarial, and you are the linchpin that is going to start the fight. So just go with it. Not religion. Money. Money is another topic that they say don't talk about. And there are some topics here that you can instead. Money, I don't know, man. Doesn't everybody kind of bitch about money? I guess it's no fun. I guess it's no fun if you're like the rich lawyer uncle, right? He don't want to hear about how you need $500 for your car, because he brings the checkbook, I'm sure, every year, and he's just damn tired of it. And here's the other problem there. If you're going to hit somebody up for money, you better damn well let them talk politics, because you gotta what's your end game? You're trying to make a little cash off him, right? You're not going to make cash if he hates you because you won't let him talk about or wear his red hat at the table or whatever. Family drama and gossip. It says, don't talk about family drama and gossip. I would say, oh, hell no. Oh, no. I mean, and by no, I mean yes. Family drama, especially as it pertains to people who are not at this dinner table. What would you talk about if you couldn't rip on cousins who weren't there? What would you talk about if you couldn't, you know what I mean? I mean, I think that's totally fine. That's way better than getting into politics or religion. Family drama and gossip, that's the good stuff, man. As long as it's about people who aren't there, as long as it's behind their back. I know that doesn't sound right, but trust me, it works. Don't talk about exes. Yeah. And if you're like a dude that brings like a different girl to every dinner, yeah, you don't want last year's girl. What happened to last year's girl? She was far prettier than this one. That's probably not a good topic. Gun control. Don't talk gun control. Oh, really? Oh, real? Thanks. Doesn't that fall under politics? Abortion. Same. What are you doing? Who's talking about abortion at Thanksgiving dinner? What idiot is bringing that subject up? Dietary preferences. Well, that's yeah. Look, that's irritating. You don't have to eat everything, but if there's something you can't eat, don't make a big stink about it. I mean, you're the trouble. If you cannot sit at a table with like 50 different options and find something to eat, you're the problem. You. Not them, you. Have a salad and shut up. Do something other than make the host feel bad because they didn't make a whole other dish just for you. And don't talk about others' lifestyle choices, it says. No, man. Doesn't that fall under like family drama and gossip? I mean, if they're not there, talk. Come on, people love bashing people behind their backs. You laugh. It's a bonding experience. It's wonderful. All right, so here are the topics that they suggest you can talk about instead. Entertainment. This is one that you can very easily come up with in the car on the ride over to wherever you're going. Just, what movie do you want to see? What are you excited about? What show on Netflix are you really crazy about? You got some Squid Game hot takes? Everybody's seen Squid Game. You talk about that. All of that stuff is far preferable to anything that's going to cause a fight, like the politics or the religion. So let's see what it says here under this category. Find out which Netflix series your family members have been binging. Discuss possible fan theories, cliffhangers, the latest episodes, and more. If there are kids at the table, be sure to leave anything racy out of the conversation. Yeah, you can do that, but more often than not, there's going to be Remember I said you got to watch out for the 50 plus guy, the 50 plus crowd. Remember 50 plus is a hand grenade waiting to go off, and 30 and under is a hand grenade waiting to go off. The 50 plus guy, more than likely, you can mention anything on Netflix and he'd be like, yeah, I don't watch that. I know I'm paid for it though, but I don't ever watch that. Yeah, you'll get that guy. Yeah, or you'll get this. Yeah, Tucker was talking about that. I know about Squid Game because of Tucker. So, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, folks. It's going to be a lot of gymnastics you're going to have to do to avoid confrontations tomorrow. Read any good books lately? Tell your family members about them and ask for recommendations they have. Your family hasn't read any books. Maybe one or two at the table has read one book in the last year. People don't read books anymore. Stop it. And if you say you read books, you're lying. You are a liar. Nobody reads books anymore. You know what people do? People listen to books. People listen to books on tape. I did that when I made the drive down from Chicago to Dallas a few months back. I listened to a book on tape. Don't remember what it was. Oh, Beyond Theory, it was called. Oh, you know what? Now I want to look up and see in my podcast list what book that was that I was. You know what? Never mind. I'll have that for you later. But people don't read books, so stop with the whole. Read any good books lately? Although maybe this might be something for the 60 plus. I mean, I think people over 60 might still read books. It's because it's been such a big part of their lives, so they might. But okay, you're not going to get any 25-year-olds going, oh yeah, I just read the new. That's not going to happen. Let's see here. If your family is full of music lovers, ask everyone to name their favorite album of all time and why they love it. That's a good one. That is non-confrontational. It's fun. It allows an individual to share a little bit about themselves. And I'll tell you one that I like. Frank Sinatra live, the Capitol tapes from 1960. Let your grandpa talk about that, and then sit there and listen. And then it'll get around, and somebody will. That's a good one. Or you can do like list. You just go Google. Give me a list of the 10 worst movies of all time. And then you can talk about that. You can go, hey, I saw something interesting. Did you know that they said this movie was... Look, I'm just trying to help you out here. There are ways. I'm not going to do the work for you, but I'm going to try and point you in the right direction. Movie buffs. Ask each person to name their favorite movie of the year. I haven't been to a theater in 2 years because of the COVID. You'll probably get that. So it's not going to be about theaters. It'll be about what did you see. I'm going to watch Venom later tonight. As soon as we sign off here, I'm going to watch the new Venom. I like Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy can do no wrong in my book. Let's see. It also says it's even okay to discuss celebrity gossip, especially if it will take the focus off your own family drama. Let's see. All right. So here. So that was entertainment. So you can talk about entertainment. That's non-divisive. Travel. Woo! Where's your dream vacation? This is a good one. You don't even have to really be thinking about it. But here's what you can do. Sit around the table. You see that the conversation is getting a little bit sketchy. It's getting into an area where everybody's sort of getting a little bit, it's about to go off. You know what I mean? Somebody's about to go. Kyle Rittenhouse deserves to be free. Somebody's about to go there. Here's what you say. So we're thinking about going to Europe this summer, even if it's not true. Unless it's obviously not true. If you're the family, if you're the wing of the family that is never going to Europe because, times haven't been great for you lately. If you're that way, you can't do this. But if you're the other, you can say Europe, and that's what you want to do. You want to be as vague as possible because hopefully somebody has been somewhere in Europe. Doesn't matter. They go, oh my God, we went to Paris back in 1975. And then they get a story going. And yeah, you might not be interested in the story, but isn't it better than fighting? Or is it? Maybe fighting's better. I don't know. But that's a good one. Travel. You just talk about places, and try to avoid I would never leave America. The whole rest of the world's a shithole, and I would never leave the greatest country on earth. You might get that. You got to jump right over that. I was in Saigon during the war, and that's as far as I ever want to be from the greatest country on earth. Health and wellness. They say you can talk about health and wellness. talking about health and wellness in the family is only going to degenerate into some really depressing topics. It's not going to be good. It's going to be, that's where the aunt might roll out. I've been waiting to tell you all this, but I've got 5 months to live. I don't go with health. That's bad advice, health and wellness. Food is a subject they say you can talk about. You usually can't go wrong when talking about food, although it may not be the best time to tell your grandmother, who just spent hours in the kitchen preparing the turkey, that you are a vegetarian. However, it's a great opportunity to compliment the chef. Well, okay, don't you do that anyway? Isn't that something? Oh, this is so good, regardless if the turkey's dry or whatever. That's just common courtesy, I would think. Gratitude. How far is gratitude going to go? This is a topic that's going to get you through a 40-minute dinner? I don't think so. This is a popular family tradition that always helps those ease the tension. Oh, this is another one of those go around the table things. All right. We don't need that. Although I do think that's sort of a nice kind of deal. Yeah, right. That's it. I got nothing else. I was gonna go into the conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really want to. I think we just did about an hour. Is an hour okay? You guys? We're not killing it today. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's see. Let's go into the chat room. Let's see what's happened. Jeff Glenn says the Beatles documentary on Disney Plus starts tomorrow. Yes, it does, Jeff, and I'm very excited. Peter Jackson's Get Back. Here's what I don't get about that. I'm a bit of a Beatlephile. I have seen just about every credible documentary on the Beatles ever made. And I say credible because you can go on YouTube and there's dozens of school projects, that kids did. And I've even seen some of those, but I'm talking about the big ones. I'm talking about, the major Beatle documentary releases that have told the story backwards and forwards, sideways. And I've seen them all. How is this I was wondering, I'm like, okay, so what does Peter Jackson do? Peter Jackson is like a major director. This is like a huge thing for him to be doing. Documentaries typically are not created by guys at the level of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, but then I found out that this is all footage of, okay, so here's the story. So back in like 1969, when they were making the Let It Be album, I think it was, or was it? I don't know, whatever. They all blend together. The Beatles allowed a film crew to film every moment of the process. Like, not only the process, but like the breakup, like George Harrison quitting the band, like in the studio because he's upset with, this or that or the other thing, which we've seen depicted in small chunks other ways and in other documentaries. So I've read a couple of books, so I kind of get the idea of what happened. But apparently the entire thing was filmed and it was locked away. They always do this to get you interested in the new footage. It's been locked away in a vault for 50 years or whatever. And that's what Peter Jackson is working with. He got access to all of these things, these canisters of film that were in the Apple Core, the Apple Records company vaults. And for some reason, the Beatles were like, yeah, a lot of that stuff's way too personal. We don't want to show it. Blah. But here we are, like 50 years later. The majority of the band is dead, right? George and John. 50% of the band is dead. Paul and Ringo are still alive. And Peter Jackson was like, come on, let me make something out of this. And have you seen the footage? Oh my God. It is like super high def. It is the crystal clearest imagery of the Beatles that I have ever seen. And it seems so intimate and it seems so well made. I can't wait to see this. So yeah, Jeff, it's a 3-part documentary, debuts on Disney Plus. And I don't know that it's going to give us any new information that hasn't already been written about half a dozen times or that we've seen in half a dozen documentaries before. But it's Peter Jackson. It looks really good. And why not? I'll give it a spin. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see. Anything else that we have to discuss here? Nah, nobody's really. You people are wonderful. Hey, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do as we sign off today, because we're going to say it's 10 o'clock. I gave you an hour. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad we can spend this time together. I've missed you. We haven't done the Pillow Talk. Yeah, typically on the Pillow Talk, we got James and we got Sunglasses, and there's more people. It's not just me. So I wanted to make sure at least that I pop in here, and I'm trying to cue up my Hinckley. You know how I like to close out with my Hinckley, America's favorite failed presidential assassin / beautiful singer-songwriter. I don't know why this is happening. There it is. Oh, talking about the Beatles, playing John Hinckley. All right. Thank you, folks. Everybody have a nice Thanksgiving. I don't think we'll be doing a show tomorrow night. That could change. So if you subscribe to the show, be it on the YouTube channel, the Facebook pages, Twitter, or whatever, you will get an alert if we decide to do a show tomorrow. I just don't know how tomorrow's going to play out. But we might. But here's what I know for sure. The next show will be Friday morning, Black Friday, the high noon edition at 12 noon Central Standard Time. I am thankful for you, all you people that just showed up tonight, knowing that this was going to be an absolute trash experience. But I appreciate it, so thank you. And have a good one. Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I have got an old guitar. That is all I need. I don't need no 401. I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now, things are going good. I always had to be on guard, that is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.